Entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Elliot, and I'm here on Live Hip Hop Daily each and every Thursday at 7 with the crew, Creative Visions. Woohoo! So they're the team that gets me right, make sure I sound great, and if you guys need a production team, hit them up. So we're going to get started today because today we are talking about something that has been plaguing a lot of my bosses lately. I've been talking to you guys this week and I've been hearing the same type of thing. All I keep hearing is that everybody is kind of having this moment of, well, I want to isolate and I want to create by myself and I want to have this moment to me. And I'm like, what's really going on? What's up? Because the only time entrepreneurs get very like, I want to isolate, I want to be to myself, I just need space to create, means there's too much going on in your head. That means you're talking too much. Like something's happening in here. There's some self-doubt. There's some poor self-talk going on. There's something that is hindering you from believing that you're the best that ever is, and we got to fix that. So we are talking today about self-doubt, and we're also going to talk about how you can get out of self-doubt, which is something very easily, and it's not, well, it's easier said than done, but it's pretty easy. We're doing great self-talk. Positive self-talk is what you need to get out of your self-doubt spiral. And so we are going to talk about how this starts and how we can get over it. So first and foremost, I want to thank you all my bosses. September was amazing. September was amazing. Like, I did a live show. Shout out to Creative Visions again, and shout out to COA Workshops. Shout out to Gary for having me. It was just a beautiful Atlantucky. It was a beautiful space. The crowd was huge. I had people coming up to me afterwards, and I've had so many different opportunities that have come, all because of one live episode. So much was going on, y'all. Like, so much was going on. There was people in the crowd that shouldn't have been there. There was stuff that happened the next week that was crazy. Like, literally, literally, this live show has been a domino effect in my life. It's been a little nuts. So if y'all see me pulled back from social media, you see me pull back a little bit, okay, so what I was talking about was like, okay, oh, I want to create by myself. No, y'all, I had to reset. I had to go, what the fuck is going on with Bosties? Like, what is going on with the show Entrepreneurs? What is this? So last week I defined what a Bostie is, how they act, how they service their people, everything like that. So we talked about that. And today we're going to talk about what happens when a Bostie's not feeling that great. First and foremost, you need to call another Bostie. So go ahead and follow at Boss Bestie Matchmaker on Instagram. And if you guys are looking for a Boss Bestie, just hit me up. I will get you 100% connected with who you need to be with so that you can have the most wonderful friendship that you've ever seen in your entire life, and it will actually help you grow your business. So with me and the self-doubt, I needed my bosses this week. So I'm glad y'all called me. I'm glad we had conversations. I'm glad we got to talk about that because you guys made me feel normal. I am going to be honest with you guys. I did not enjoy my last hairstyle as much as I thought I would. I kind of thugged it out, right? I thugged it out with a very positive attitude. So then when I changed my hair again, I was like, what the fuck, Ellie? Like, what is going on? I was like really frizzy this morning. I was looking a mess. I had to get on my Instagram and had to talk to you guys. And so what was funny was I was sitting there feeling all of this like, oh, I don't like how I look. Oh, I don't like my clothes. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like that. And it was real in real life. None of that ever mattered. And I talk about this all the time where I'm like, I've made money with or without nails. I've made money with or without new clothes. I made money with or without my hair looking the greatest. Like, it's never really mattered, but their self-talk will bother you. In those times where I wasn't feeling the greatest, I was doing nothing but positive self-talk. But when it got to a point where I could change it, then I got really nervous and I started second guessing absolutely everything I did. Every decision, every pair of pants I made. Like, literally this outfit took 2 hours for me to figure out, is it a good one, is it not? Self-talk and self-doubt will really ruin your day. It will make you late. It will make you not understand and not see yourself for who you really are, which is beautiful, which is a badass, which is somebody who's out here getting their own money from their own brain, their own ideas, from their own honestly, it's something they made up. Like, I literally am making money off of something I made up. It's just something I never really thought that I could do. So when the self-doubt comes in, it's because I pushed past the limit that I never thought I'd get past. You guys, when you create a ceiling for yourself, you create this space that once you get past that, now you're in a different atmosphere. You're in an atmosphere that is new, and it's something that it'll make you stop. It'll make you stop going. It'll make you quit because you are sitting there in such a new space that you can't see yourself bigger than that. So this is where self-doubt comes in. This is when you're going to start really telling yourself you're not doing that great. And you actually are. You're doing wonderful. So how I know that I'm doing a lot of self-doubt is when I look around and I don't feel like I'm the best that there ever was. If you're not feeling like the GOAT right now, then you have self-doubt. And I don't care if you're like, well, I don't feel like a failure. If you don't feel like 100% winner, then that's self-doubt. And I want to challenge you to figure out where that's coming from. Have you not done enough wins today? Have you not pushed past any barriers? Have you not pushed yourself into an uncomfortability mode? Because if you're feeling comfortable, you're not going to feel like the best there ever is because you're not achieving anything. So I want you guys to really take a second. And the reason why we have self-doubt in the first freaking place is because it's really an evolutionary survival mechanism. When we used to be hunters and gatherers and live in the wilderness, we needed self-doubt in order to make sure we were making the same decisions. If you're living by yourself and you're in the middle of nowhere, yeah, you need to second guess whether or not this is just a branch breaking or if it's a fucking bear. So yeah, you are gonna have to sit there and be like, yeah, no, I don't not really feeling comfortable. Let me get out of here, right? And you're gonna have to keep second guessing, keep going back, that type of thing. We're not living in that age anymore. And I know it's very hard to break, especially something so deep rooted in us. But self-doubt is not something that you're going to need as an entrepreneur. If you want to drop the ish, if you're trying to be a real entrepreneur right here, then you have to drop the self-doubt. You cannot live in survival mode. You're not surviving. You are thriving. You are building something. When you are building something, you cannot survive at the same time. Only people who build are people who are in comfortable, safe spaces. Your brain needs to be a comfortable, safe space. And if your own brain is not a comfortable, safe space, where else are you going to find safety? Where else are you going to find peace? Where else are you going to find your biggest self? Where else are you going to tell yourself that you are the greatest that ever lived, right? If not in your own brain, where else are you going to find that? Because no one is going to tell you that just off the rip. You're going to have to believe it yourself first before anybody else says that to you. So how are we going to start making your brain a safe space? Well, we have to talk about imposter syndrome because that's another big issue. Imposter syndrome is when you feel like what you are doing right now, you're playing like you're an actor. It's like you're acting like an entrepreneur instead of being an entrepreneur. And because you're acting, you're thinking to yourself, can everybody tell I'm acting? Can everybody tell that I don't know what I'm doing? Can everybody tell that I'm making mistakes and I'm just living past it? Really, honestly, no one knows. No one's seen any of those mistakes, honestly. And if you did have a mistake, they probably didn't grade you as hard as you're grading yourself. So I would like to, one thing that really helped me is I started reading this book, and it's called The 4 Agreements. I would really ask everybody to go read that. I think it's Miguel Ruiz. I'm going to put it in the comment section so that I don't butcher this man's name. But the name of the book is The 4 Agreements, and there's only one book called The 4 Agreements. And when you read that book, it tells you exactly why you have all of these judgmental spaces in your head and why you feel like why you judge yourself, really. Because we live in this world where people create this space of what is good and what is bad, and then we just kind of have to live in that. And as you get older, you start to realize that what that person said is good and bad might not necessarily match up with your life experiences, because they base that off of their personal life experiences. So everybody's good and bad, or what's okay and what's not okay, what's the good standard of living, what's not, depends on the individual and their past and what they've lived with, right? So when you get older, you start to realize that you have all these constructs over your head. And those constructs that you have over your head is why you feel like you're an imposter. You have said that to be an entrepreneur, I have to look a certain way, dress a certain way, talk a certain way, and get the money in a very certain way, right? Because you have told yourself that you have to do things so rigidly, it's going to be overwhelming, and you're going to literally be very, very upset with yourself when things don't go that way. And it's because you told yourself it had to happen this particular way. Let me tell you something. Every single time I've done anything, it never went to plan. Never. Absolutely fucking never. And every single time that I wish it went to plan, I would have missed out on an opportunity. I would have not been somewhere that could have been the greatest thing that happened to me. So on my show, I got there a little early for my live show that we had in September with COA workshops. And I got there a little early. And so nothing was set up. And I was like, okay, Ellie could freak out or she can go mind her business until everything is set up. And so I decided I'm going to go mind my business. I'm going to relax. I'm here. I'm ready. So then that's all I can do, right? That's the only thing in my control. So I went outside, and while I'm outside, I get 3 different opportunities that you guys are going to see coming up later in this year. And it's all because something went wrong. If everything had went right, I would have been sitting inside and I would have been doing something else. I would have never met those people, and I would have never had these opportunities come to me. And that is because I decided to allow new things to happen to me, to get rid of this doubt. I could have sat there and I could have told myself, oh my God, everything's going to fail. You're going to look stupid. This is going to be awful. Everybody's going to see that you just do this in the studio. You're not worthy of a crowd yet. I could have said a lot of crazy things to myself, absolutely crazy things to myself. But instead, I didn't, and opportunities came to me. So what I want you guys to know from that is that every time that you're sitting there and you're talking crazy to yourself, you're literally messing up your process. You are hindering yourself from getting new opportunities, from finding new ways of making money, to find new ways to make your name be heard. All of this you are getting rid of the moment you start talking crazy about yourself. That's what happens. So to stop this, we're just going to stop it. Like, literally stop it right now. Whatever you are thinking that is wrong with you, I want you to flip it and say that is the best thing about you. That will change your life. I used to always tell myself, I suck at marketing. Me doing that had me perpetually suck at marketing. Literally, every single time I would try with the mindset of I suck at marketing. So, of course, as I went about the day, I continued to suck at marketing. It wasn't going to get better. It was because I had said it. It is true. That is how we work. We work off of assumptions. Our entire life, our brain, everything we do is worked off of assumptions. So if I'm assuming I'm going to suck, I'm going to suck. That's it. I have no other choice because I didn't even give myself the opportunity to live past this particular thing. So the moment I decided to say, hey, I'm going to learn about marketing and I'm going to get great at it. And instead of saying I'm learning about marketing, so it's okay to fail, I started saying I'm learning about it, I'm great at marketing. Even if I didn't feel like I was great at marketing, I had to start saying that every single time. Do you know what's happening? I'm great at marketing. And it's because I told myself I would be, and I'm living in this headspace and in this mindset and on this vibration of I'm great at marketing. And because I keep doing that, I just keep getting better at marketing. This is how things go. This is why, to get out of self-doubt, you have to change your self-talk. Because if you keep telling yourself that you're the best that there ever was in your field, you're going to be the best that there ever was in your field. Because you've said it so much that other people are like, she's the best that ever was in her field. And then people are going to start saying that. And the more people start catching on to your positive self-talk, they're going to talk to themselves great. They're going to talk to you fantastically. Like, everything is just going to move. You're just going to build. You're going to grow. You're going to be this brand new person, all because you changed how you talk to yourself. So, first things first, what do you say to yourself when you wake up? I want to know. I want everybody to just say, what is it? When you wake up in the morning, that is how you set your intentions for the entire day. If the first thing you say to yourself this morning is, it's too early. I don't want to be up right now. You started off. It's bad. We're not starting off on a good foot. So when you wake up, I need you to say, I am very thankful to be alive, and today is going to be a wonderful day. That's it. If you say that, what is your day going to look like? You're going to be thankful to be alive, and the day is going to be a wonderful day. Because it can't have anything else happen, because that's what you're assuming is going to happen to your life. So even if something quote unquote bad happened to you, it's not bad. You're going to see the bright side of it, because you already told yourself today is going to be a great day. We've all had hiccups. We've all had terrible things happen to us, and then right after that, we have a great day, right? Because we said that nothing was going to stop us. I know if I was on the way to a party and I got pulled over, I'm still going to that fucking party. And I'm going to be mad that I got pulled over. I'm going to be mad that I have a ticket. I'm going to be mad all the stuff happened with the police or whatever that happened. However, I'm going to be at that party, and I guarantee you this is going to be the best party of my life, because I was just pulled over. Like, because I was just having the worst moment, this moment just got 10 times greater. It had to be greater, because I could have been in jail. Like, I could have been somewhere else. Like, I could have been my car towed. Like, I could have had so many different things happen, because it didn't, and I'm having a great day. Now, this is the best party ever. And that is how things work. When you have great self-talk, anything that happens to you, it's going to be fantastic. And it has to be that way, because things go wrong all the fucking time. And if you're not okay with that, this is going to be super hard for you. Like, things going wrong and you not knowing what's going to happen to you next are the two things that I can guarantee are going to happen to you as you are an entrepreneur. Two things. These things are going to happen to you on a daily basis. Do you know how you get out of this? Do you know how you don't let this become something that is gonna bog you down and make you depressed and make you want to quit? The only way you can do that is by keep telling yourself, that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Everything's gonna work out in my favor. Those two things are the greatest things that you could say to yourself. If something's going wrong, you say that this is the best thing that ever happened to me. People are gonna think you're delusional. People are gonna think you're fucking nuts. And you are. You are delusional. You're delusional as fuck, because you have to be. Because if you let this thing get you down, then the next thing is going to get you down. And then the next thing is going to get you down. And the next thing is going to get you down. The key to staying a great entrepreneur is not giving a fuck what happens. Like, you are on one track mind. You have one track mind. You're not on anything else other than success for your business. So whatever else is happening, that's okay. It's just another obstacle. It's just another thing for you to get through. But what is happening is you're going to be successful no matter what. Car could be repoed. You could lose your house. You could fight with your family. You could have all this stuff going on. Trust me, everybody has terrible things going on with them right now. However, the ones that are making it through are the ones that said, I'm not going to let none of this shit stop me. So the only way you can get there is without self-doubt. I don't know anybody who could push through with that type of warrior spirit and they also don't believe in themselves. The only way that you're able to even have that is like you have to believe in yourself. Another thing that I like to do, I like to count how many answered prayers I'm living in. I think that is another thing that is huge for my self-doubt. Like, if I'm ever like, oh, I'm having a bad day, I go, okay, what's bad about it? You're living your dream. You do what you want to do. Like, I just start, I'm not in a terrible relationship. Like, all these different things that used to be real in my life that was so terrible, like awful. I have changed my life in a lot of different ways. And so I count all the ways that I changed my life every single time. And a lot of times what helps me with that as well is looking back at my memories. If you guys are like me and you take a lot of pictures, go back and look at yourself 3 years ago. Go back and look at yourself 5 years ago. Look at the camera quality. Like, you don't even live in that era anymore. You're like on an HD level. So already you're winning just by a different camera quality, just because time has passed. But then also look at, another thing I like to look at is my skin. I like to look at like how I was taking care of myself. If it was obvious that I was or wasn't taking care of myself, there's all these different things that I get to see. And then after I see my old self, I look in the mirror and I go, wow, What else have you changed about your life? What else has happened since then? I've switched cars, I've switched houses, I've switched hair a million times. Like, like there's all these different things that has happened in my life that just goes upgrade. So the more you look at all of your answered prayers that you were sitting there and you're living in, and you get to say to yourself, wow, I've come out of something, your self-doubt is going to go away. Why? Because you get to see, I was in a terrible place and I got out of it. So if I can do that once, I can do it again, and I can keep doing it. Having that faith in yourself and your higher power is going to be the way that you get to continue to grow and you get to push past this. Do not let imposter syndrome, and do not let this hard-coded thing in our DNA that makes you do self-doubt, do not let that keep you back. Because for what? Again, this is your dream. This wakes you up every single day, and you're going to let something like that stop you? You're going to let what you say to yourself stop you? We can't do that. I'm not going to allow you to do that. My bossies are not going to be stuck in their own head, okay? So if you're sitting in your head right now, first things first, count your blessings. Sit there and start counting all of your blessings. Count the fact that you are breathing, count the fact that your legs work, count the fact that your eyes work, just start saying things, and then you'll start being like, oh my God, okay, I'm actually not in that bad of a shape. I mean, literally, just sit there and watch. Look at the news real quick, and look at the people who are missing their kids. Look at the people who are whose families were just hurt by police. Like, whatever it is that you get to say, that's not me living in this situation right now. Count those blessings. Like, I don't care how far down in the rabbit hole that you have to go to be thankful for your life, but that's where you need to get to. Get down all the way in there, and to the point where you are like, I have the best life ever. I have the best life that I ever could possibly have, and it's all because I'm here. I'm living in this new place. I'm not in this self-doubt space anymore. So the more you do that, that's how it's going to do. It's literally, the more you talk positively, the better everything is going to go. Your life is going to change. The words you say are going to change. But sometimes you have to get deep. Some of us have some real deep-rooted problems, some traumas that we've gone through, some things that we never want to remember again. And I know how that feels, because I have the same thing. But the way that I get over that, and especially when I was in a place where I constantly had somebody tell me that I wasn't smart, I wasn't pretty, and I wasn't good at what I was going to do. I was never going to keep it up. I was never going to keep this type of thing going. I wasn't smart enough. I couldn't focus enough, whatever it was, right? To have somebody say that to you constantly, sometimes it sticks in your head even when that person is gone. So when I'm telling you, I know what it means to have crazy self-talk. I understand. I'm not just saying this because I'm like, oh, it's a good thing to say. I'm literally telling you what has gotten me out of terrible spaces and has pushed my business into a whole new stratosphere. And it is all because I have changed the way I talk to myself. When I do something and I feel stupid, I have to tell myself, that's not your thoughts. That's somebody else's thoughts. You actually think you're very smart. Okay, so then I start telling myself, okay, let's get rid of that person. Tell that person to go away. And then if I have something else come up, oh, you don't look pretty. If I say that, that's not true. I can't believe that about myself. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, who said that to you? Who told you weren't pretty? Like, let's get them out of your head. Let's tell them that that's not true. Tell them to go away. And then keep telling that person to go away. The more you keep telling that person to go away, they will actually go away. You have to ignore them the way you ignore credit card companies calling your phone. Completely ignore them. Hit ends. Be like, bitch, I don't have time for you right now. That's how you got to talk to these haters in your head. Because again, it's you. If you are a solo entrepreneur, you're a solo business owner, yes, everything depends on you and how you feel today and how well you were going to push through these self-boundaries that you have to get to the other side. So if self-talk is one of those things that you have problems with, it's negative a lot. You're constantly proving yourself to yourself. Let's relax for a minute. Let's listen to the voices. Let's identify who's talking, especially if it used to be somebody who would tell that to you, like a parent or a spouse or something like that. If that's what was happening to you, I need you to hear yourself say that. And then if you would not say that to yourself, then never say it to yourself again. Because some of the things that we say, we would never tell our best friend this. I also want you to, again, this is why I love having a bossy. If you would not say what you're saying to yourself to a bossy, to your bestie, to somebody who you're close with, if you wouldn't tell a family member you look ugly today, why would you tell yourself that? You have more common courtesy for somebody else than you do yourself. That's wild. We have to start treating ourselves better than we treat other people. And I don't know about you, but I definitely have that problem. Sometimes I want to treat other people better than I treat myself. We can't do that. We have to start here. So if you wouldn't tell somebody else that they're bad at what they're trying to do, then don't tell yourself that you're bad at what you're trying to do. Because it's just not even who you are. Be who you are to yourself. So I want to say that. The other thing is, we have to start embracing failure, because I know a lot of times a lot of our negative self-talk comes from not hitting a standard, not hitting a target or something that we have said that we were going to do. Oh, I was going to launch this product by October, and it's October 5th, and you're like, well, shit, I'm a failure. That's okay. What did you learn? What held you back from hitting the mark of October 1st? What happened? Like, what was the thing that happened? Let's analyze ourselves. Instead of talking crazy, let's have a meeting. Let's sit down. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I sit down with myself, I put the camera in front of me, and I have a very long, formal conversation about what I did wrong in my business and how I can get better, right? And that helps me, because I sit there and I go, well, this part of me was in the way this month. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen next month, right? And we keep this moving until we are free of whatever craziness that we have in our head, because we need to be free in order to get to the next level. So, hey. So the last thing that I wanted to give you guys is building resilience. Because you are going to be failing a lot, you're going to have to get okay with that. It's all right. Hit the ground. Stand back up. We got to stand back up. If you are going to stay on the ground, you need to crawl. And I really mean that. Like, if you're going to be sad about something, you need to still make some type of movement. But the goal is for you to stand back up. The resilience is going to keep you going. The resilience is going to keep you moving and growing into a space that you've never seen yourself, because you've never seen yourself stand this tall. You've never seen yourself talk to yourself this greatly. You've never been this positive in your life. So you're going to move to a new level, a new space that you've never been in. And you need to embrace that. Just think about that every single time that you are down. Think about that new space that you get to be in if you think positively, if you move to the next level. So keep all of this in mind, guys, because I'm going to keep talking about self-talk on my page all week long. So definitely follow at entrepreneur.ish.podcast to keep up with my stories. I'm going to be asking you guys questions. I want to hear from my bossies. I want to hear about some of the self-talk that you have. And I want to talk through it with you guys. I want to make sure that we're not staying in this level. We need to grow. I'm here to help you grow. And the more we do it together, the better we are going to be. So again, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Entrepreneurish. I'm here each and every Thursday on Live Hip Hop Daily at 7 with the crew Creative Visions. And we're going to have a new episode coming very, very soon. So you guys stay tuned. Give me 5 minutes. We're going to do the setup and we'll come right back.